Hi, this is Carol A. Reithmiller with LadyCPA.com. I'm here today to start off a multi-part series on how to run a business. Today is going to be all about starting. So we're going to discuss a business plan, how to get your business form selected, your permits and licenses, how do you hire people, how do you establish credit policies, how do you keep your books, and then how do you build your team so that you can be the most successful person. Remember, no man is an island, and in this day and age, nobody can do it all by themselves, so you have to have a team around you. Let's get started. We're starting with the written business plan. Most MBA students will write something that's 500 pages listing everything from where you're buying toilet paper and paper clips. I think you know how to do that yourself. Most businesses that don't have a business plan written down will fail according to the SBA. I want you to be successful. So, 3 pieces of paper. What are you going to do? Why are you going to do it? And how much money are you going to make? If you have that, we'll be able to take that information and use it every month, every 3 months to make sure that you're achieving your goals. Now, I'll tell you, when I wrote up my business plan, I wrote down A and B and C because I knew my own destiny. I did A. I didn't make it to B. I think I went from A to L, then maybe Z, and maybe I hit C. This will change. It'll be ever evolving. But it's a way for you to measure and make sure that you are achieving your goals and that you are using your talent. The other thing it does is ensure that you are making enough money to keep it going. The last thing I want you to do is have your own business. You're the president of a company, and at the end of the day, you're making $50 a week. You'd be better off working at a fast food chain. So it keeps you grounded. And that's what our whole goal is. I don't want to do just one part with you. I want to take care of the entire person and family. All right, the second thing we're talking about is financing needs. Most businesses need some type of startup capital. Now, some businesses can be started from the home with a laptop computer you already have. Some is a bricks and mortar where you actually have to have a storefront presence. How are you going to achieve this? There's a lot of type of loans out there where you can get small business administration loans. Be careful of those. A lot of the SBA loans, while they're easier to get, are at a higher interest rate than you need to pay. So we want to explore how to do it, what's the most effective way of doing it. It could be leasing, it could be owning, it could be borrowing from friends and neighbors, it could be shared space. Next thing we're going to do is discuss your business form. You have a lot of options here, and I'm sure you've heard of some of these beforehand, but your choices are pretty well a sole proprietor, a partnership, corporations, whether it's an S corporation or a C or an LLC. Some states actually have an LLP as well. We're going to have videos later on that are going to go over the pros and cons of those. They'll be a little bit more in depth, but for today I'm going to assume that you're a small business, you're starting out as a sole proprietor. So you're going to think of the name of your business. Once you have it down, check it out with your friends, make sure everybody can spell it, say it. You might want to check and see if the name is open for a website. Then you're going to go to the county courthouse and register a fictitious name. Typically, this costs $5 to $20 to register the name. Now you have it. It's yours. When you get back home, next thing you're going to do is go into the irs.gov, G-O-V, and you're going to type in the search engine, start EIN, which will get you to where you can fill out for a federal identification number. EIN is actually employer identification number. Once you have that number, and if you get stuck, don't forget we have information at www.ladycpa.com. Get the number, you're going to go to the bank with a copy of the fictitious name registration and the EIN. You'll be able to open up a business bank account. This will get you started. The next thing that you're going to have to do is find out what permits and licenses you're going to need to run your business in the city, state that you're in. Easiest way to get that information is to call up the city and say, I'm starting a business, what do I need to do? For some businesses, you have to have a state license. For instance, I'm a CPA in North Carolina. I have a state license with the state of North Carolina. For some realtors, you have to also have a state license. Some small businesses, you have to have a county vendor license. Everybody is different, and you are responsible for running your own business. You must have all the legal requirements. I'm sure you've heard it 1,000 times that ignorance of the law is no excuse. So I want you to start out strong. I want you to start out in knowledge on firm ground. All right, now we're going to talk about insurance. Here's the thing. Everybody in this country loves to sue somebody else. They want to get something for nothing. You need to protect your assets. Like the way I said that? All right, so what I want you to do is to talk to your insurance agent. The best thing you could do is bring them a cup of coffee and sit down saying, all right, I'm opening up a business. How do I cover myself? There's umbrella policies, there's liability policies, there's workers' comp. The trick is you have a good agent, you talk to them, they know what you're doing. You get that rapport going and you will be protected. If you try to do it online by yourself, you might miss something and then you're going to be liable. And I want you to protect everything you have. Next thing we're going to talk about are your tax responsibilities. Yes, Uncle Sam is thrilled that you have opened a business because now he's going to make some extra money off of your blood, sweat, and tears. If you are selling a product, in most states you will have to collect sales tax. Now, internet marketing, you're selling something and it's being delivered by eBay to a state that you don't have any presence in, you don't have to worry about sales tax as of yet. That's today, June 24th, 2016. I promise you they are looking at this. Every state wants to collect a piece of that pie. Other things you have to consider are your business income taxes. Certain items have excise taxes. It's tires, refrigerators, appliances, a weird list, but a list nonetheless. Again, you are responsible for knowing everything about your business. All right, the next thing as a business owner you're going to have to consider is hiring people. A lot of places to put ads up. You can do Craigslist, you can do Indeed. Both good. You get a good number of people. When you go through the resumes, I want you to read them and try to understand them. You're going to choose the top candidates. You're going to bring them in and interview them. When you do, you're going to form a lot of different opinions. You're going to look how they're dressed, how they're handling themselves, how well they speak. Some people are going to look great on paper. They're going to fill out the application and just be dynamic on paper. But when you meet them, there's just something not right. You can't really put a finger on it. Let me give you a hint. Don't hire those people. Anytime I have hired based on what they look like on paper and I've ignored that little pit in my stomach feeling, I've had to let that person go or they've walked out with 3 to 6 months. Make sure you're comfortable on all burners. You don't want to hire quickly and fire quickly. They will suck the life out of you. Every new hire takes about 3 months before they're up and running. Some will take longer. You can't afford to invest in somebody who's not going to last. Hire wisely. Next thing we talk about is being a preferred customer. Every business has to have some type of supply, whether it's office supplies, it's widgets, whatever it is, you're going to have to make sure that you have a good supply chain. How do you get your product? The people that take care of you, you need to take care of. Spend an extra 3-4 seconds on the conversation and ask how you're doing today. When you walk into the store, smile and wave at them. At some point, you will need their help. And people tend to help people who are nice to them. Rule of thumb. Same thing, you go to the bank. I want you to go inside every now and again and wave at the manager. Managers have authority to do some amazing things for you. If you know your deposit's coming through on Thursday, but Tuesday you need to get this check cleared, sometimes they can let your account go overdrawn for a day or two if they know who you are. People don't help strangers often. But again, if you're in there, you're waving, they know you have a rapport. Next thing we want to talk about are pricing issues. When you open up a business, it's easy to think that everybody knows what you know and you're just trying to compete on price. Here's the thing, I don't want you to be the cheapest. I want you to be the best and I want you to be worth the value. So you are going to charge a reasonable reasonable price for your time, and you're going to make sure that you are making enough money to keep your interest going. Can you imagine if you worked all day long, 8 hours, 10 hours, and at the end of the day you made $50? You'd be better off dog walking or doing something else than making that money. You would lose interest, your quality is going to suffer. That's not who you are. You are going to be well compensated for what you do. You're not going to gouge, but you're going to get a good value and give your clients a good value. All right, credit policies. Nobody wants to talk about this, but you need to know upfront what you're going to do and how you're getting paid. What you need to do is be credit policies. Many business owners are so concerned about marketing and selling their product that they forget about the important thing, when cash is going to hit the door. I need you to get paid. So when you meet with a client, you discuss your expectations right up front. Some business, this is easy. You're on eBay, you don't sell the product until they pay you. Life is good. Some are services. You're a wedding photographer. You get a down payment up front when they sign the contract. You get the majority of the money just before the wedding, and then when you deliver the photos, you get the balance. Other businesses, it's not quite as clear. You have to be upfront with your clients when you want to be paid. What you might be able to do is have them sign a card or a contract where they give you the credit card and you spell out what days you're going to get paid and what days you're going to hit their account. If you do work with large corporations, some of them typically don't pay their bills for 60 days. They're using your money. Make sure you get compensated for it. And that kind of dovetails into your accounting system. You've got to track all of this. The software we work with most of our clients is QuickBooks. Great software. It's about $200. You can use the software 3 to 5 years and not have to replace it. It can do all your accounting needs. If you need to take a class on it, most of the community colleges offer those classes. You'll be able to find people online who can help you. And if you're within 100 miles of us, we'll be glad to do it with you as well. We've also done online classes. Let us know what we can do to help you there. The next thing, one thing I do want you to know, touching back on that, is most audits fail because they don't keep good records. Let me go into that just a little bit more, and we'll do another video that'll go into this in more depth. Everything you buy for the business, you must keep the receipt. You can do that multiple ways. You can physically have the receipt, and you can set up your files where you have a folder for each vendor, or you can get one of those accordion files at any office supply store, and they'll list all 12 months, and whatever you spend in January you put in there, whatever you spend in November you put in that month. You can keep the receipt on paper. There's a lot of great software where on your phone apps that you can take a picture of the receipt and it'll store it for you, or you can scan it in. The IRS will accept any of those methods. What the IRS will not accept is if you bring in your credit card statement and say, see, in the month of June, I went shopping at these stores. The IRS says, well, isn't that pretty? But what they want to see is the actual receipt. And you can understand why they want to do it. If you go to Office Depot, you could buy something personal, you could buy something for the business. They have no way of knowing that. So again, we want to keep your receipts and we want to keep your books accurate. When you open up a business, there's a tendency that you want to have the best of everything. And I want you to have that too. But you're going to have to buy what you need and use your capital judiciously. So, you start off slow. You have all the equipment you need to get the job done, whether you're renting it, borrowing it, what have you. And then as business grows, then you can start doing some of the indulgences that you want to do. Okay, I tripped over my words. So,
do them again.
Absolutely. So, I want you to learn to run your business leanly when you start. This is not the time to run out and buy all the toys that you like. You can rent stuff, you can borrow stuff. Use what you have judiciously. Alright, next thing we're going to talk about is your team. You know, obviously I think you need to have an accountant on your team, and I'm applying for the job right now. Other things that you need to have are a banker. Again, we've discussed earlier, you go in the bank, you wave at the manager, you smile, and you're polite to the teller. Your insurance agent is also crucial. You need to have a marketing person and an attorney, and we can help you with this as you go along. The one thing you need that is the hardest to find is the devil's advocate. And let me explain what I mean by that. A lot of people will tell you whatever you want to do is the most amazing thing they've want to heard. And I agree, of course. But what you need is that one person who's going to say, you know, maybe that's not the greatest idea. What they're going to do is they're going to do one of two things. They're going to sharpen your focus so that when you step out, you're going to step out stronger than ever. Or maybe they're going to persuade you that it's not the best thing. And boy, haven't you just avoided a big hot mess. This is Carol A. Reithmiller at LadyCPA.com. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.